The Jerry Hinkle program. Hello, YouTube. It's time once again for the Jerry Hinkle program. And I don't know why I bother doing that because the count. Anyhow. The Jerry Hinkle program is brought to you by Starbucks Coffee. And it's real good stuff. Here, I'll just have a little sip. That's iced coffee, by the way. We can have iced coffee because it's 45 degrees outside. And also, new sponsor for us, Wesleyan Water. It's so clean, pure. It's so clean and pure that you can see right through it, just like a lot of people can see right through me. And so, first thing I probably should mention is that today is the actual Martin Luther King holiday, not last Monday, as I stated earlier. All I can say about that is that I was in such a hurry to celebrate the Martin Luther King holiday that for some reason I had it on the last night. Well, anybody who knew my granddad knows that all of us Hinkles are in a hurry. We always doing stuff early. As a matter of fact, even though he was nearly 104, I thought he died way too early, but that's neither here nor there. So today is the day, not last Monday, obviously. Anybody who tried to do any banking business found that out, I'm quite sure. Anyhow, another thing I want to talk about is a lot of people were upset about the fact that I used the word sex in last week's episode. Matter of fact, it was in the title of last week's episode, and that's what a lot of people were upset about. Well, the subject matter we dealt with was quite offensive to me, and so I guess it all evens out there. Matter of fact, I have heard that sweeps are coming up. So there's going to be a lot of sex going on in February on the television. But I promise, no, I won't. If y'all behave yourself, we won't have to say that anymore. Anyhow, main focus of what I was hoping to talk about, something going on back home in Highmore Herald High School put on a play called Thank You for Flushing My Head in the Toilet. And when I first heard the title, I thought it was some kindly of a comedy. Well, it turns out that the subject matter that was dealt with in the play was about bullying, which is not a laughing matter, no matter where you grew up. And so I applaud the folks back home in the Hollowbird area. There I go, touching myself again, trying to be serious. But I do applaud the folks back home for talking about serious subject matter. If we get people to talking about it, maybe we will get some action, and people will do something about the issue of bullying. The issue of bullying has been around for years. Matter of fact, it was before they even had a word for it. I would venture to say that the first incidence of bullying was when Cain bullied Abel to death back in the book of Genesis, back in the beginnings of the world. And so it's a very serious thing. And it all starts with our attitude towards it. If we see it, we have to prevent it if we can. But if we see it, we have to report it. We have to make sure that this sort of disrespectful behavior stops. Sometimes we have to look within ourselves. Sometimes I catch myself doing something like that, But and the really wonderful thing about this play was that my niece Brittany was involved. Hopefully, she was the good girl. because, of course, even if she was the bad girl, I'm sure she was very good at being bad, just like me. It's nice. Brittany kind of took care of the theatrical legacy that I have. She's been continuing that on, and so and Shelby, who I haven't all, not, you talk about bullying. I was not a very nice person. I was not a very good uncle to Shelby when she was growing up. But she has a fashion blog that I don't have the address to, but I'm gonna Google that and we'll see if I can find Shelby's fashion blog. She's blogging, and maybe even though she's not not a blogger like me, fashion is her thing, so that's good. I'm just glad that there's another blogger in the family. There's a blogger in the Halliburton area, and I don't know the name of her blog or the address, but I'm going to see if I can find that, and we'll get that to anybody that's interested. Unless, of course, you're one of them pervs that likes to send your picture to because she's only 14. She's a good kid. All of my nieces and nephews are good kids, not just Shelby and Brittany. Justin and Connor are good kids too. They just right now all they do is kill zombies, which I guess is a good thing. But on the video games and whatnot, I never got to do that when I was their age, so I'm glad that somebody got to do that when they were that age. And here we are rambling again. That must mean that we're running out of things to say, except that there is one thing I have kind of. I want to mention that here at Wesleyan, today's episode is being filmed at the Dakota Wesleyan, the home of Wesleyan water that is so clean and pure and that you can see through it. And theater is a social tool. That's one thing I learned here at Wesleyan. And Dan Miller, to his credit, taught me that. And I always thought it was an escape, but it turns out that he was right. As we mentioned, folks back home are social tooling the issue of bullying, or at least they did. And so I'd like to close out this program with a little tune about the Martin Luther King holiday. I did not find the words to free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last. However, I did come across a nice little song by a fella called Dion. He was from the Belmonts back in the 50s and early 60s. And he had a tune about Abraham, Martin, and John. So I sort of improvised some of that, just enough to where if he finds out about it, he won't assume. I changed some of the lyrics around, and so it goes something like this. Has anybody here seen our good friend Martin? Can you tell me where he's gone? He did a lot of good things, but it seems the good they die young. We just looked round and he's gone. Didn't you like the things that he stood for? Didn't he try to find a lot of good in you and me? I guess we'll see. Someday it's gonna be a long time. Anybody here seen our good friend Martin? Can you tell me where he's gone? I think I saw him up on the mountaintop. Yeah, but we just looked around and he's gone. So that's our Martin Luther King tribute for this year. And I thank you. We are brought to you by Wesleyan Water. So clean and pure, you can see right through it here in the beautiful campuses of Dakota Wesleyan. And let's not forget the Starbucks iced coffee. That's good too, especially on a day today. It's 55 degrees outside. Good for January. Anyhow, God be with you. Do the best you can. Bye now.